and welcome to the first game of the weekend between the Northern Hawks and Futsal Factory. Running through the lineups for Futsal Factory, the number 7 John van der Heijden, the number 23 Nick van der Heijden, the number 99 Lewis Phillips, the number 8 Alex Rashida Livings, the number 1 in net Kyle Standing, and the number 10 Ollie Standing. And for the Northern Hawks, in net Daniel Formato, the number 7, starting alongside Ches Houston, the number 5, Callum Bredemeyer, the number 3, Michael DeFilippis, the number 9, and Kane Finch, the number 12, Lachlan Hanna, Rickan Ropley, and Devin Rindell on the bench alongside Betim Zeba. Referees for today's match, Albert Miyembe on the near side. As we're looking to get underway, just getting those final checks done, and we should hear the first whistle in just a moment. Kyle Standing just changing his shirt as there was a clash with the Northern Hawks outfield kit. And we're underway. Ishida Livings to van der Heijden. Back to Ishida Livings. And the Hawks are already employing quite a high press. But the ball comes off Houston. The call goes the way of the Factory as Ishida Livings finds van der Heijden, who goes down the line looking for Oliver Standing, but he loses out to the Philippis, who resets with Houston. Fitch, Bredemeyer, to Philippis, Houston, and Michael de Philippis has been in good form this season. Him and Riley Gordon, who picked up an unfortunate ACL injury, probably being the two standouts for the Hawks thus far. Maybe overshadowing Ches Houston and Devin Rindell, who are the usual main players for the Hawks. But Rindell and Houston, ever so consistent. They'll definitely pick up their form as the season goes on, and it looks like it will be a season-ending injury to Riley Gordon, so we wish him all the best with his recovery. As Fitch looking for the back row to Houston, but comes off a Factory defender, and the Hawks have a kick in. And DeFilippis through the middle, losing out. Ishida Livings, van der Heijden through to Ishida Livings, and very nearly Alex Ishida Livings opening the scoring. He got in behind from Nick van der Heijden's ball and just put that one wide of Formato's left post. As DeFilippis, Bredemeyer, DeFilippis again across the court to Houston, who remains calm and finds Fitch in the middle. The use of the body well by Fitch, and Bredemeyer in behind. Can he finish? And on the second attempt, third attempt, for Standing. A very, very good triple save, especially considering he's not a keeper. Bredemeyer should have got more power on the finish. Van der Heijden resets with Standing, and it can be a tactic that the Factory can use to their advantage today. Maybe playing with the keeper high up the field, as van der Heijden almost getting in behind there. Bredemeyer down the byline looking for Fitch. Back to the Philippis. Houston looking to stand up Standing, and cuts inside. A weak effort intercepted by van der Heijden. Ishida Livings, one by the Philippis, high up the court. And now Houston across to Fitch. And that's a venomous effort on goal by Kane Fitch. wins the corner for the Northern Hawks. And this is the type of situation they want to get Bredemeyer shooting. But he needed to be a bit quicker there. Nevertheless, the Hawks get it back from the side to Philippus. And he looks for the return ball to Houston, but it's a poor one. And the Factory will get the ball back. Factory coming off a heavy loss to Perth ASC last week. Hawks coming off a 3-0 win against the ECU Jets. Two sides at either end of the table. Hawks with just the one loss so far. Factory with just the 1 point, but they've looked good value early on today. A couple of clear-cut chances, and Van der Heijden winning the ball high up there, but couldn't quite keep it in as we see Rindell come on. Fitch. Houston. And back to Fitch. Rindell. Houston shows in the middle and uses the Hawks number 10 again. Looks inside for Zeba. Got a loose touch from Zeba. And the Factory will look to restart this attack quickly. Phillips. He's on now for Van der Heijden. Nasheeda Livings gives it away. Houston under pressure. Rindell. Zeba. Ball forward to Fitch. And down the line to Rindell. He's got Houston in support. And Houston taking a couple of touches, looking for the shot. And a second bite of the cherry, but neither shot was going to be troubling Kyle Standing in net. Standing, he looks to go in the middle to Phillips, who did well, but he got clipped on the way through and nothing called by the referee. Phillips isn't happy. There's definitely enough in there for a foul, I thought. As Phillips resets and Van der Heijden loses out. Rindell, one-on-one now. And across the court, Zeba, Houston, and Houston's ball a loose one. Looking to play through Phillips, but Houston does very well there. The sombrero flick, and now Fitch looking in the middle to Zeba. It's intercepted. The Factory come away with possession. Van der Heijden takes on Zeba. And down the byline, Van der Heijden goes. Nasheeda Livings, the return ball, Standing! And deflected behind for a corner, but no advantage. And the Factory will get a chance at a free kick in a very dangerous area. A chance to work Dan Famato. Van der Heijden, very good from this kind of distance. The number 23 with huge calves and the ability to hit the ball with great power and accuracy. Can he do it on this occasion? And that one belted into the wall. As the number 23 checks to the bench for his brother, the number 7, John Van der Heijden. Nasheeda Livings looking for the 1-2 with the number 10 Standing, but didn't quite come off on that occasion for the Factory. It's Houston, Rindell, back to Houston, Zeba. Rindell. Houston, 3 for Ropley. And Ropley lays off for Houston. He fakes on his left and cuts on his right, but puts that one over the bar. And an evenly matched contest so far. The Factory handling the pressure of the reigning champions awfully well. As Zeba, Ropley, Rindell for Houston, who's looked lively today and gets beyond Standing down the byline, but into the arms of the other Standing on the court in between the sticks, Kyle. As Houston having his first rest of the match. Lockie Hanna on now. Rindell, Zeba, and Hannah making the run. Zeba looks for him. Hannah, good control on the chest. And still Hannah keeps it in nicely in the middle. But it's intercepted by Ashita Livings. Only as far as Ropley. And the 1-2. Rakan Ropley. But what a save that is. Kyle Standing. You think he was a keeper the way he's playing today. And Rindell shoots, but Standing equal to it again. Now he's come off his line. And looks for the ball over the top, but a stray pass really. And Famato drops it at the feet of Zeba. Rindell, Hannah. And he's got space to dribble forward. But loses out to Phillips, who looks to get beyond Zeba, but it's fallen back, and the Factory building up at the halfway line now with Sheeta Livings. And Van Heiden wants it in behind, but the pass had to be inch perfect, and it wasn't. As Rindell off to Philippus back on. To Philippus, Hannah, Zeba, and Ropley to Philippus. Hannah, Ropley, and his ball forward, but it was caught late there, Akana Ropley. And the foul given away by Phillips. Ropley checks off to the bench. Cal Bredemeyer back on, who probably had the best chance of the game so far. Got clean through on goal inside the opening couple of minutes, but his effort was saved by Standing. Is De Philippus, Bredemeyer, Zeba. Uses the body well, but loses out. And Northern Hawks get away with one there. Phillips lays it off Standing in the middle for Vanna Heiden, but blocked by Zeba. And Vanna Heiden, Phillips, Ashita Livings, Standing, back to Ashita Livings, Phillips, and back to Ashita Livings, Vanna Heiden, but won by Hannah. Zeba checks off to the bench. Ches Houston back on. He wasn't off for long. And Vanna Heiden being pressed by Hannah. And the Hawks win it back. And halfway through the first half, neither sides opened the scoring so far, as the dummy there from Phillips. Smart piece of play in the Factory. Get it from the side. Phillips, the big pivot, using his body well, and he wins the foul. And another chance for Factory to work something. They've been drawing the fouls from the Northern Hawks in this final third. This one not really on an angle where they'll be able to shoot, but Vanna Heiden square in the middle. Standing's off his line and could potentially look to come higher up and shoot. They go to the back post. Vanna Heiden looking for the volley. And that one helped out by Phillips. Bredemeyer, Houston. Back to Bredemeyer, and Fitch is back on now. The number 12, Kane Fitch. Bredemeyer deals with the pressure well to Philippus. In the middle to Fitch, who plays it back out to Houston, and down the line looking for Kane Fitch's run. And the ball's still alive here for the Hawks. Houston. Factory win it back. Vanna Heiden pops it forward. De Philippus has to be good. Famato, very cheeky. And De Philippus is away, but the Factory won it back, and the Hawks had no cover. And again, the Famato using all his acumen as an outfield player to calm down the situation. Fitch. De Philippis. Bredemeyer, a loose touch. Fitch. Houston. And one-on-one now. The ball to Fitch is a good one. But an even better tackle by Van der Heijden. And 7 minutes left to go. Still nothing to separate the two sides. Who will be the first to open the scoring? As I say that, the goal goes in. De Philippis. 1-0 for the Northern Hawks. And it's a good set play. They found the gap in the middle. It's something that's been costing the Factory in recent weeks. Bredemeyer getting the layoff and pelting it through the middle to Philippis, getting the finishing touch. And can the Factory respond? Van der Heijden. Phillips over the top. And Fitch pushed off the ball by Phillips, and good use of the body again, but it's still in, and it's behind for a corner. De Philippis up the line, and Houston. That one's deflected behind again. And they've got Bredemeyer, the left footer, who can look to work something. And he does, but it's a scuffed effort, high and wide of the goal. As Rindell back on. Van der Heijden standing. Van der Heijden. And the toe poke, not far away at all. Houston, Rindell. Back to Houston. Here goes back to Rindell. In the middle, Fitch. Houston, Rindell, De Philippis. It looks in the middle, but Van der Heijden's got a foot on it, and now Phillips standing. In the middle, Van der Heijden, back to Nick Van der Heijden. Phillips. In the middle for standing. Who loses that to Rindell, but Van der Heijden cleans up. And he looks to cut inside and still going, but runs out of room. Houston given away. Van der Heijden, toe poke. And again forces Rindell into the error. Nick Van der Heijden. But it's a great challenge from De Philippis, and now the Hawks are on the counter-attack. He's got Houston out wide, but goes himself. And De Philippis not far away from a second. Palmed over the bar by standing in 4 minutes 20. Game very much still alive. Multiple chances at either end. Factory keeping up with the Hawks well. And that's again another well-worked set piece. Straight into Rindell's run. And De Philippis, who scored the first goal, turned provider. We'll just have a look at that one on the instant replay. Factory, it's not really keeping the middle shut as tightly as needed. He missed it. But apart from that, a good first half by Factory. They've pushed the Northern Hawks and really let themselves down. A couple of unnecessary defensive errors, and could it go from bad to worse? Houston, that shot floating wide of the post. Van der Heijden with the flick on for Motto claims. Now Rindell, one-on-one with the Sheila Livings. Fitch with the layoff. Standing's done well, and the Factory on the counter-attack. Still standing into the arms of Formato, who releases Rindell. And Rindell, that would have been a magnificent goal, but just a tad too high. As Phillips comes on for Van der Heijden. Looking to take on Rindell. And gets the call back. As Sheila Livings Back to Phillips. Standing. Pressed by Houston and Rendell, and Rendell gets the foot in, out for a side ball, which will be taken by Standing. He goes to Phillips, who is looking to manufacture the shot and test it for Mato, who looks to catch Standing off his line. Rendell checks off Zeba on. And a whistle's gone. I'm not sure what that's for. Fumato had to straighten up his goal. And does, as Standing direct for Ashida Livings, and now Vanna Hayden a step over, but it's one back for the Hawks. Fitch. And the Northern Hawks get a free kick deep inside that offensive half. De Philippis. Houston. The ball through to Fitch, who goes back to the Philippis, and down the line, Zeba looking for the 1-2, but it's lost out, and Ashida Livings is away now. Vanna Hayden, but a smart save by Fumato. And Standing shot straight into Ches Houston. And now Zeba, he had runners in support, but went for the audacious. Standing through the middle, Fumato collects. De Philippis, Rockley back on. Rockley still going. Zeba. Houston, Rockley through for Zeba. Can't manufacture the shot, Bedham Zeba. And Phillips driving forward. And with just under a minute to go, the Hawks are out to a 2-goal lead. Ashida Livings, a bit of a heavy first touch. And he's under pressure, but squeezes the ball through, looking for Phillips. Zeba, is there a chance for a third before halftime for the Northern Hawks? De Philippis. Pulling Standing back and looking forward for Zeba. Ashida Livings defends well. Zeba takes the ball off Rockley before firing the toe poke into Standing. Phillips. Houston wins it back. Rockley. De Philippis, and that didn't miss by much. Standing stood still and watched it. But lucky for the factory, it was wide of the upright. And 10 seconds left. Standing can't keep it in. Now, De Philippis will just run the clock down. And the Hawks go into the break with a 2-goal lead. De Philippis and Rendell, the 2 goal scorers. We'll be back in a moment. We'll just go to a quick ad break. Don't go anywhere. And the Northern Hawks with the restart here. Zeba to take kickoff. Houston. Ropley. Outside for Zeba. And his ball a bit behind the runner, Chess Houston. The number 5 tracks back to get a hold of it. And now to Philippus. Back to Houston. Zeba. The 1-2 with Houston. And that's a nice play from the Northern Hawks, incorporating the dummy from De Philippus. And Houston looking forward, takes a deflection, but into the path of Standing. Now, Ollie Standing. Phillips. Vanna Hayden. Phillips. Nick Vanna Hayden. Sorry, John Vanna Hayden rather. And now Oliver Standing. Got to be careful. Under pressure from Ropley, but does well. John Vanna Hayden. To Nick Vanna Hayden. Inside to Phillips, and that's a good ball. Can Phillips convert? He's been defended well by the Northern Hawks, and they'll get it back through Famato.
A little bit more.
To Philippus. Ropley to Philippus again. And Zeba. Houston. To Philippus. 1-on-1 with Phillips, but Ops back in the middle for Houston. Ropley. Gotta be careful and loses out. Now a chance for Factory. Ropley makes up for the error and defends extremely well. Factory won the call, but it's gone the way of the Hawks. Zeba to Philippus. And back heel for Zeba. Hannah on for Ropley. Houston. And the press coming in from Vanna Hayden. Hannah, 1-on-1, and just beyond Standing down the byline, but he was clipped on the way through. And now a chance for the Northern Hawks to work something from the set piece. And now Houston, the one standing over it. And that's behind for a corner. A bit of confusion there between the two referees, but a Factory keeper's ball is Phillips given away. Zeba down the line to Philippus. The toe poke, and that's a corner. And Hannah lurking up the line. The Hawks slowing this one right down as Hannah on the left foot. Struck cleanly, but blocked by Vanna Hayden.
No, go the other way, that way. Lockie, go to goal!
And the ball looking for Houston, but caught by Standing. And over the top, Famato off his line well.
Go to goal. It's the blue and white thing, right?
And to Philippus. Houston. Good ball for Hannah, who beats Standing. And still Hannah, he's lost out.
Lucky, bad luck.
And Zeba's on the overlap. Houston shoots on the left, and that's a good goal by Houston. Left foot, right foot, it doesn't matter for the number 5. And we'll just check that one out on the replay. You can see Houston there, a good bit of footwork, cutting onto that left foot and driving it into the corner. And Phillips now shoots, but Famato's equal to it.
Lucky, stop. Lucky, come here. And drop down the line, Here.
Zeba.
There.
Houston. In the middle for Zeba, back to Houston. And the through ball is found Bredemeyer, who can shoot. But Stanning makes the save. Vander Heiden looks forward, but blocked by Zeba. The timeout has been called by the factory. We'll just have a look at some statistics. The pass count at 200 for the Northern Hawks, 122 for the factory, 61% possession for the Hawks, 38 for the factory, and the Hawks with a 76% pass completion rate, 62% for the Futsal factory. We'll be back just after this timeout.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week at Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us.
And we're about to get back underway. We start with the Futsal factory side ball. Vander Heiden standing. Over the top for a Sheet Livings, and it's a great ball. Sheet Livings gets the shot off, but Tomato's equal to it. Bredemeyer, Zeba, Bredemeyer, through for Hannah, who ran standing, but runs out of room.
Hal, close the middle. Callum, good.
Vander Heiden down the line, looking for a Sheet Livings. It's a loose pass. And it's Zeba to take the kick in. Bredemeyer given away a Sheet Livings. Phillips. And the through ball laid off nicely by Vander Heiden. And standing looking for a Sheet Livings in behind. The ball was too heavy for the number 8's run. As Tomato, Zeba, Houston, Bredemeyer, Zeba, and down the line for Bredemeyer, who's gone to the back post looking for Hannah, but it's intercepted. Standing, a Sheet Livings, and Tomato slides and clears. Been very alert despite not having too many saves to make down for Marto, and it's not easy for a keeper when you're not being frequently tested to constantly be on top of your game. So it's a feat to how good Formato is. That one's given away. In behind, Zeba, but a save from standing, and the factory get away with one there. Phillips with 2 to beat, and he gets beyond both of them, and that would have been a great goal from Phillips, but he can only win a corner thanks to the heroics of Formato. As Phillips, Vander Heiden drags his shot wide, and Devon Rangel checks on for his first minutes of the second half. Zeba finds Rangel. Bredemeyer. And Houston checks off. Kane Fitch on. Rangel with Fitch now, who plays back to Rangel, bounces back to Fitch. You can see the Hawks trying to open the factory defense, but moving the ball, and now Rangel one-on-one with Vander Heiden, takes him down the byline, and he gets the shot off. Vander Heiden wins it on the second attempt, but it's given away, and standing with another save. Done awfully well there. Oliver Standing, Kyle Standing rather. Now it's Oliver Standing. Phillips, Standing, back to Standing. You can drive forward and shoot. That one's blocked by a teammate. The 1-2, and Vander Heiden looks to get him behind. And Famato, Rindell, Fitch. And that should have been 2-touch. The referees missed it. Fitch, Zeba, back to Fitch. And a through ball looking for Zeba. But cleared by Stanning. Rindell. Bredemeyer shoots to the back post and it's come off the outside of the back post and out. Not bad there from Callum Bredemeyer. He's got an assist to his name and almost picked up a goal. As Stanning gives it away. Zeba now.
Hold it. Good.
Phillips. And the call going the way of the Factory. Phillips was pushed over. And Stanning. Factory coming up for a bit of fifth man. Oliver Stanning. Kyle Stanning. Vanna Hayden. Back to Kyle Stanning. And the shot. But Stanning can win it. A Shade Livings across to Stanning. Given away. And Rindell on the left foot, but it's a stray effort. He had more time there than he probably realised. As a Shade Livings. Phillips. Stanning. The Factory keeping possession well. They've just got to be patient. Phillips. Nicely done. Phillips. Oh, not far away for Factory, and that would have been a well-worked goal. Just missing the target as De Philippus goes long. Rindell, a looping header. Stanning collects it. A Shade Livings, Phillips. Oliver Stanning. Kyle Stanning. And all the Factory players within their attacking half, which means the keeper's allowed 2 touches on the ball. Famato, he won't miss from here. And it's cleared off the line by Stanning. Famato, one of the deadliest punts out of any keeper in the league. He's made a habit of scoring, catching keepers off their line over and over again. As De Philippus, who was the standout for the Hawks in the first half, has quieted down this second half, perhaps a little bit, but still playing well. Back row for Rindell. Zeba. Rupley. Rindell. De Philippus. Rupley. Zeba, and a nice turn. Zeba's away. Uses the body well. And lays off to Rindell. He looks for De Philippus at the back post. And Zeba checks off to the bench. Just Houston on. And Vanna Hayden one-on-one with Houston, but the number 5 does well. And resets with Rupley. Rindell, De Philippus. Back to Rindell. And one-on-one but loses out. A Shade Livings, he's driving forward. And the early shot almost catches Famato off guard. He spilled it, but got it on the second attempt. And a nice little disguise ball through. And now Houston's in behind. Houston! Stanning comes out and clears. And now a chance for the Factory on the counter. Rindell wins it back. And musters off Vanna Hayden. But he's won it back. And Phillips giving away Rindell. In a straight effort. Wide of the Factory, or wide of the Hawks goal. Vanna Hayden. Nick van der Heijden through to Rashid Livings. And the ball through, but Famato, he's collected it and he's got a push on the back there. The Hawks will get the free kick. And Famato, no real options, so chips that one forward to Stanning. He's been allowed to bring it forward, and he's under pressure. And Nick van der Heijden, first time ball, looking for John. And with 6 minutes 40 left on the clock, the Factory have it all to do. Time's running out as van der Heijden, that one's given away to Philippus. And the Factory get back in numbers. Standing, putting that one out for a sideline kick. And in the middle, finds Rangel, who's 1-on-1 with Rashid Livings. And takes him! And what a goal that would have been, but an even better save by Standing. Palming it out of the top corner. Rangel so lethal on both feet, and that quick change of pace, and here he is again with a chance at the back post, but couldn't get there in time. And the Hawks won a corner. Referee Albert Miembe disagrees. Now a chance for the Factory to start a quick counter, but looks like they're going to slow it down as Stanning is going to come up into his own half. Standing, van der Heijden. Standing in the middle, and the layoff, van der Heijden, and blocked behind. The Factory will have a corner. And Standing in the middle, but behind for another corner. And the Factory with another part of the cherry to work something. Over the top. Van der Heijden keeps it in, but can't get beyond Houston. And Famato looking to catch, Standing off his line, but he got that one awfully wrong. And Albert Miembe giving it to the Factory a couple of meters closer to goal. Standing. Van der Heijden. John van der Heijden. They've got another corner. If they can pull one back here, it's game on. Standing. Ollie Standing across the court. Van der Heijden beats Rangel down the power line and in the middle. But the Hawks live to die another day. They get away with one there. And Rashid Livings on the volley. Factory are being awfully wasteful. It's Famato. Looks to start the attack quickly, and Hannah with a diving header, but can't find the target. And just under 4 minutes left. Phillips checks back on. And Standing. Rashid Livings. Back to Standing. In the middle to Phillips. He looked to play it first time out wide to van der Heijden, but it's been given away. Standing across the court to no one in particular. It's wasteful from the Factory. You have to get numbers behind the ball, and Rangel. And that's a great finish from Devon Rangel. Standing, not getting on his line quick enough, and the experience of the former Australian international mate, Simpay. We'll see if we caught that one on the replay. And you can see Hawks so switched on. The ball goes out. They know exactly what they've got to do. A little layoff, and Rangel struck that ever so cleanly over Standing, who almost got there, but nevertheless, it's 4-0 now. A second of the game for Rangel, who is putting his hand up to take out the man of the match. And Factory do want to get something on the board. The passes like that aren't going to cut it. Van der Heijden sending that one behind. And to Philippus. Houston to Philippus again. And being pressed high. And Phillips doing well there. And Famato appealing for it. He gets the decision. to Philippus. Houston. Rindell. And they're a bona ball looking for Hannah. Just a bit overhit. You can see Rindell's got a smile on his face. He loves a bit of that. Van Heiden. Phillips. John Van Heiden standing. And Fitch just won it back. And this will be 5. And Fitch puts that one away. The Factory getting caught out. And with a minute 51 left, it's game, set, match. Kane Fitch scoring his opening goal. Actually, I think he scored one a couple of weeks earlier against AFC, but scoring his first goal at Perth Modern this season. And Phillips looking to turn. Fitch, his ball needed a bit more venom on it. Houston, nice feet. Comes to down with Rindell. And the Hawks with a big victory today, 5-0. The Factory held on for large portions of this second half and kept themselves within a chance, but getting caught out with no keeper in net for those last 2 goals in the closing stages. And we're deep into stop clock now. A minute 10 left. It's Houston. Down the line looking for Hannah, but Stanning clears. Now in the middle, Rindell. Famato letting that one run all the way to his feet. And he toe pokes that one, maybe a little bit wasteful. I'm not sure if it was a shot or a pass to Rindell, but nevertheless, he send it out. And the Factory will get it back. Can they pull one back? It'll only be consolation, but they've worked hard and they definitely deserve a goal. Scoreline maybe a little bit harsh on Futsal Factory considering some of the opportunities they have created, and they could get caught out again. Rindell had the line right, just hit a bit too powerfully. That would have been the hat-trick if the number 10 had had it. Now the number 10 on the opposite team, standing, Van Heiden, standing. And Famato, he's going to have a crack, and it looks like it's going to trickle in. Dan Famato's happy with that one. Standing, maybe should have turned around. The ball just trickled beside him and into the net, and that's 6-0. I hope we caught that one on the replay. Doesn't look like we did, and it's a shame. Dan Famato, the best goal-scoring keeper you'll ever see. And 6-0, it just goes from bad to worse for the Factory. 21 seconds left. And standing, Phillips, Van Heiden, and the ball over the top. John Van Heiden's done well to bring it down, but it looks like it just trickled out. And Famato, Houston, and looking to catch, standing out again, but with 5 seconds left on the clock, is that going to be all she wrote? Hannah getting the shot off, but there's no time left, and will the final whistle go? And there it is. A 6-0 victory for the Northern Hawks. Devon and Joe with a double. Dan Famato scoring 1. Kane Fitch scoring 1. Michael DePhilip is scoring 1. And Ches Houston scoring 1. And we'll just go through the full-time statistics. And the Northern Hawks with 397 passes completed to the Factory's 343. Passing percentage 74% for the Hawks, 69% for the Factory. Hawks holding the bulk of possession, 56 to 44. And the Hawks having again the bulk of the chances, 36 shots, 25 on target, 6 goals, 7 corner kicks. To Futsal Factory, 21 shots, 12 on target, no goals, and 7 corner kicks. So Dan Famato is still having to make a lot of saves and played extremely well. And we'll be back with all the coverage from the Women's Supa-Liga between Grand Final rematch Grand Final rematch West Coast Cobras